Now on CoastTV News.
Cape High gun discovery, the latest on the firearm found in a student's backpack at Cape Henlopen High School. Governor's court challenge, the legal clash over pandemic restrictions, the implications for Delaware's religious freedoms. Chill factor, this cold snap brings frostbite risks, essential advice to stay safe in the freezing temps.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Breaking news, a gun was brought to Cape Henlopen High School today. Good evening, I'm Mallory Metzner.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with a scary scene at Cape Henlopen High School this afternoon.
The district sent out a shocking voicemail that left parents worried this afternoon. Live in Lewis is CoastTV News reporter Charles Reinert. Charles, one parent said she never thought this would happen.
Mallory, that message came in from the district around 1:30 this afternoon, and all of this went down right behind me here at Cape Henlopen High School. Now, according to the district's assistant superintendent, the school's resource officer, its constable, and administrators were told that a student might have a gun in school today. According to the assistant superintendent, when they investigated these claims, they found a gun in the student's backpack. The student was then immediately taken out of the building by state police. No one was harmed during the incident, and the district says there is no concern for safety right now. One parent said she couldn't believe it when she got that message this afternoon.
Shock. Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised. Wasn't expecting to hear something like that happening here.
According to state police, that student is in custody, and we were told that there will be more information coming out this evening, so we'll be sure to pass it along with you once it becomes available. I'm Charles Reinert, live in Lewis, CoastTV News.
Thank you, Charles. CoastTV News received another voicemail from Cape Henlopen High School saying the reasons the school feels it's best to postpone all evening school activities tonight. Principal Kristen DeGregory says, quote, the issue that happened earlier today at Cape Henlopen High School is extremely concerning to the high school staff, students, and the entire Cape Henlopen School District. She says the administrative team and the Delaware State Police are focusing their efforts on investigating the incident and are working together to better understand what happened and how similar incidents can be prevented in the future.
Delaware Republicans are still trying to hold Governor Carney accountable for restricting places of worship during the pandemic. Here's why. In 2020, the governor ordered all places of worship to limit capacity to no more than 10 people in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. A lawsuit originally filed in December 2021 was initially dismissed by the Superior Court. It has now moved to the Supreme Court. In the newsroom is CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, you spoke with a local legislator and a local pastor. The two have very different opinions.
Charlie, today Republican State Senator Brian Pettyjohn says that people deserve the right to decide if they want to go to a place of worship during a national health emergency. We spoke with one local pastor who says that people would have put themselves at risk by going to a service during the pandemic.
Empty seats. This was a familiar sight in places of worship across Delaware during the height of the pandemic, when their attendance was restricted in an emergency order. It was a sight many Republican representatives feel wasn't right. Senator Brian Pettyjohn believes during a national health emergency, people should have the choice to decide if they want to attend a religious service.
People are worried to deny them the ability to commune with others of their faith. To be able to hear that spiritual guidance from the spiritual leaders is something that is deeply impactful to people and their ability to make it through stressful times.
One local pastor says the closure was necessary because people would put themselves at risk when coming together to worship.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I remember giving a talk later, about a year later, and thinking about what did we learn, in this period, this unprecedented period, And one of the things that I said was maybe one of the sine qua nons of worship, I would have said would have been togetherness, that, where two or three are gathered in my name, Christ is here among us, right? But then I realized, no, safety is the most important thing, keeping people safe.
Pastor Gordy Stith says learning to live stream services helped the church adapt to the modern times while also keeping everyone safe.
Pastor Gordy Stith told me that when the pandemic happened, he saw that when one door closes, another door truly opens, because now a third of the church's attendees actually participate through their live streams. Back to you.
This wasn't the first time a lawsuit was filed against Governor Carney for COVID restrictions. On May 2020, a Delaware man sued Carney in federal court over restrictions he had imposed on access to the state's beaches and his ban on short-term rentals. Patrick Murray was represented in the case by his wife, Georgetown attorney Julianne Murray. The lawsuit challenged the state's ban on short-term rentals and limited beach access, claiming these rules violated constitutional rights. This brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know if you think emergency powers should be able to override constitutional rights. Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier.
Looking at the screen now, so far 68% of people who voted in this poll say yes for safety purposes. 32% say that rights should come first.
And we will show you updated results later on tonight on CoastTV News at 11. Delaware House and Senate Republicans introduced 3 major reform bills aimed at increasing accountability in the state's legislature. The measures include setting up an independent ethics office, restricting state funds to organizations linked to budget-writing legislators, and increasing oversight on community organization funding. These measures aim to boost public trust in the legislative process.
Freezing temps on the coast mean it's time to bundle up. As Coast TV News reporter Tori Seagraves reports, it is especially important to protect fingers, toes, ears, and anything that is more vulnerable to frostbite.
Everyone walking out the door today is on thin ice. Plummeting temperatures making for a bitter trip into the elements. Kathy Ryanstar and her little one Braden walk to school every day, and this morning was no different.
It is really cold. If it were much farther than the 10 minutes that it is, I'm not sure that we'd be walking.
With temperatures below freezing and wind chill making it feel even colder, Coast TV meteorologists say beware of frostbite. And with that in mind, professionals at BB Healthcare want you to know how to recognize the signs.
You're going to notice some redness of the fingertips. And then you can get into that whiteness, the blue and purple color. So you'll definitely have some skin discoloration. People with darker skin tones are not going to be able to see as many of the skin color changes. And their skin typically will not get red. It'll actually turn hypopigmented.
BB Healthcare says that if you do think you have frostbite, to run what is numb under warm water and to remove any wet clothing. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milton, Coast TV News.
We are taking a live look outside into Ocean City, where it's probably a lot colder even by the water. That's just bone chilling if you step outside there right now. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us with our First Alert weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. You know what? It's the wind. The wind doesn't make it any feel better. So that bone chilling, that comes from that northwest wind, and it is unrelentless at this point. Now, right now it's coming primarily out of the west at 9 miles per hour, but when you combine 29 degrees with 9 miles per hour, you get teams. That's what it feels like right now. As far as our expectations for the rest of the night, we will stay clear and we'll drop from 27 and stay in the upper 20s for the most part, but that's cold enough. Here's a look at the temperatures around the area. 27 in Rehoboth, as well as in Redden, Georgetown, Del Mar, and Salisbury. But now let's take a look at what we're expecting. We're watching out for snow. For most of Sussex County and most of our viewing area, between 1 to 2 inches of snow for Friday. Bottom line, straightforward stuff so that nobody's confused. Now, if you go up there towards Milford and above, you're going to run into about 2 to maybe 4 inches of snow there by the time we get to Friday, because this snow thing on Friday looks like it's going to be an all-day situation, okay? We have a trough to our west, and we're staying a bit cloudy for right now, but we're going to talk more about the possibility of snow in various areas and the timing. Secondly, we have another blast of Arctic air behind the snow on Friday. Mallory?
Thank you. Big changes are possibly coming to Ocean City buses. The bus fleet in Ocean City may change to all-electric as soon as 2026. Costing around $1.5 million to buy each electric bus. One woman in Ocean City says that cost is too high.
I really oppose having these electric buses. I think the cost, first of all, is going to be crazy. There's so many other things we could use that money for. And also just the maintenance of them and charging them. I can't even imagine how long it's going to take, and I know that they're having trouble with the electric cars now, not charging in the cold weather. So I just don't think it's a good idea.
Governor Westmore pushes for Maryland to generate 100% of clean energy by 2035, and we are just getting started tonight.
Coming up still, these local restaurants say goodbye to their customers, the legacy both restaurants leave behind.
And it's cold weather season, big time, and now we're watching out for wintry weather. In fact, a winter weather advisory is in effect for portions of the state, not just us, not just yet.
First, dive into the intense competition for Rochester's soon-to-be vacant seat. Meet the key players vying to shape Delaware's future when we return in just 60 seconds.
With the potential of closure due to the upcoming snow forecast, Furnitureland and Ashley are giving you their very best offer to make up for lost business. For the next 72 hours only, take 24% off store-wide. Plus, get 24 months interest-free financing, $24 next-day delivery, plus a free snow shovel. Hurry in. As the snow falls, so do our prices. Only at Furnitureland and Ashley, located in tax-free Delmar and Millsboro, Delaware.
Hey Delmarva, this is MJ Laughlin with IG Burton Chevrolet in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, and Berlin. Unleash incredible savings on Silverado with discounts up to $10,000 off, or take advantage of 1.9% financing with no payments for 90 days. Or take home the 2024 Chevy Equinox with affordable monthly payments starting at just $299 per month. Details online at igburton.com or come into any IG Burton Chevrolet location in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
When Senator Tom Carper announced his resignation last year, it created not one, but two open seats in Delaware's congressional delegation. Current Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester now running to fill Carper's place in the Senate.
And as Coast TV's Matt Pensick shows us, there is plenty of interest in being the person who replaces her in the House of Representatives.
3 Democrats vying for the one and only U.S. House seat in Delaware. They may be from the same party, but there are not so subtle differences in background and policy position. State Senator Sarah McBride attempting to make history by becoming the first transgendered person elected to Congress. Eugene Young is Delaware's director of the State Housing Authority. It's a position once held by the current member of the House, Lisa Blunt Rochester. Colleen Davis is Delaware's treasurer and looking to become the first member of either chamber of Congress from Sussex County since John J. Williams resigned from the Senate at the end of 1970.
That doesn't need to be at the expense of open space. We've got a lot of commercial space that can be redeveloped into residential. We've certainly got the opportunity that when new development occurs, that sometimes that development is a little denser, that it might be multifamily dwellings, that it might be semi-detached or homes rather than all single-family detached homes.
It's a multi-tiered approach. It's not going to be just one-size-fits-all type of an approach, and I think it's got to be, as I said, materials, finances, and the ability for people to make decisions on their own.
$5 million in down payment assistance to first responders, teachers, those who worked in the medical or healthcare space. $15,000 down payment assistance. You stay in the house for 10 years, you don't have to pay it back.
Anytime you are making illegal at the federal level cannabis banking, or the ability to bank those funds after you sell it, even from a medical perspective, that is a challenge.
We need to understand that this is something that we have to be monitoring of, but I do believe that marijuana should be legal, and we should not be institutionalizing people for their use of marijuana.
When you try to prohibit it because you prohibit the sale in your borders, you probably only feed a black market, which is exactly what we were trying to undermine with the legislation. But it is certainly their right, and they're allowed to do so.
I do believe electric vehicles are going to be a part of our future for here on out. We just have to make sure that we don't move ahead of the people in which we're trying to serve.
In order to actually address the global crisis of climate change, we need federal action and federal solutions. And so after several years in the legislature where we've been able to make historic progress showing that small states can do big things, I'm running for Congress now because we need federal action.
There's a risk that people take that they won't actually get to their destination before their battery runs out. And I think, again, when we're talking about the costs, we're talking about, individuals' pockets and whether or not they can actually afford the higher ticket price that goes along with an EV.
I've proven a capacity to deliver real results in a legislative context on all of the issues that matter.
I'm the only candidate that has the ability to think about the person when we talk about how we affect people and the household and how we actually serve people in a way that doesn't crush them.
Whether it's just not even from the housing piece, but also from the nonprofit space, the community development space over this last 20 years shows more importantly, what I've done.
The reality of the situation is that the Democrats have over 150,000 more registered voters than Republicans in the state, and Delaware has not elected a Republican to Congress since 2008, meaning the winner of this primary is in strong position to become the next U.S. representative from Delaware. For Coast TV News, I'm Matt Pensick.
Since we wrapped up this preview, Dover businesswoman Danielle Hall is seeking the Republican nomination for this seat. Coast TV is attempting to schedule an interview with Hall to air at a later point in time.
Cold and snowy weather will continue throughout the weekend, especially the cold part. We'll talk more about that and the snow that's on the way here just after the break.
Toyota is the official automotive partner of the NFL, with a lineup that can't be beat. And with plenty of vehicles in stock, there's less waiting and more saving. So head into your Toyota dealer. We'll make a game plan just for you. Buy a Tundra now with 4.99% APR, or go with a Tacoma and get 3.99% APR. It's game on at Toyota, official partner of the NFL. Toyota, let's go places.
The holiday was delightful, but your couch is now a little frightful. Dinner time full of joy, but your dining table is not so anymore. Holiday mishaps happen, and Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury can help. A fresh new look for the new year. Sit back and relax in our showroom filled with furniture from living rooms, bedrooms, to dining and more. Plus, in-house financing and Alton's unmatched, everyday low prices that can't be beat. Serving Delmarva for over 75 years. Have you been to Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury lately?
No strangers here, just friends you've not met yet. With an outside patio and inside charm, Irish Eyes Pub and Restaurant Milton is a local's favorite on the banks of the Broadkill River. Irish Eyes Pub and Restaurant Lewis, gorgeous views, free parking, and the best happy hour at the beach, with room for everyone. And for a truly special event, go no further than the Lewis Room at Irish Eyes. The panoramic views, in-house chef, and professional team will make it easy to plan your next event. Find out more at irisheyespub.com.
Watch the Salisbury Stakes, Maryland's new minor league soccer team, exclusively on the Delmarva Sports Network. From every shot to every goal, the Salisbury Stakes on DSN. Local teams, big dreams.
Wheel of Fortune, celebrating 41 years of excitement.
All new episodes airing now.
Wednesday at 7 on Coast TV.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would say.
So they're made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would.
And they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think so.
And they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out? And the custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
Download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
We are bracing for a first alert day. Now, that's when we're talking about the weather's about to go really bad down south in a major way. So take out your phone, put it on camera, scan the QR code here in the corner, because winter weather is on the way. Now, this advisory is actually not for Sussex. It's actually, for Kent and up towards Newcastle. But I suspect and expect for Sussex to be placed under that advisory as well. By the way, we also have a small craft advisory, very breezy along the Chesapeake Bay area. And any wind with the temperatures dropping like they are right now is an uncomfortable combination, to say the least. We have a trough and a bit of an inverted trough that's going to begin to slide its way towards us. And that adds to the complications of what we're expecting as far as the weather is concerned. An inverted, it's basically part of the atmosphere is just is working backwards. So we got to watch how those waves work over the next 36 hours. 26 degrees in Lewis and Rehoboth, as well as Milton and in Milford. So it's plenty cold. And we are 4 degrees colder, for example, in Ocean City, as well as Salisbury. Here's what it feels like. 19 in Indian River Inlet. It feels like 20 in Lewis, Milford, and in Georgetown. And that's warming up from the single digits we started off this morning. You see, the winds are coming out of the west for right now, but they are going to be shifting coming out of the southwest for Thursday, but at about 17 miles per hour in some cases. By Saturday, coming out of the northwest, and that's going to give us that grip of cold that we're concerned with after the snow hits. But let's just tackle one thing at a time, right? So Thursday, we start off at 25, end up at 37. Thursday's just cloudy, no precipitation. Friday, in comes the snow. Temps in the 30s, upper atmosphere will support the formation of snow. We're bracing for about 1 to 2 inches of snow for most of us. If you're more closer to Kent County you are, you're getting a little bit more. Closer to Ocean City you are, you're getting a little bit less. Here's a look at our model with our future snow. You see how this is projecting that we're looking at possibly even as much as 3.5 or almost 4 inches of snow in portions of Sussex County. That's a little bit more than I expect according to my own personal numbers. But I'm not dismissing that because I'm looking at snow all the way around. And that 3 inches of snow is a real possibility because of how big this is. You see how when it sneaks in over us, all of this? I'm going to give you a trick that I use. You see that darker purple right there? That darker purple, that's about a 2 to 4 inch formation of snow there, just so you'll read the colors properly. And then after the snow hits, here's what happens Saturday. Boom. Feeling like 4, 5, and 6 degrees. So if the snow wasn't bad enough to catch your attention to get that app, the cold weather afterwards should do so. So tonight, Arctic air, we'll have the sequel of the Arctic air. We dropped to 20. Tomorrow, moisture's building into the concern for Friday, which is 2 inches of snow or possibly more in some cases. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. First alert day on Friday. We will keep you updated online, on Facebook, and our app everywhere and on radio.
Thank you, Paul. In Sussex County, 2 well-known restaurants, Sydney's Restaurant and Lounge in Milton and Chap's Pit Beef in Rehoboth, have announced they're closing for good. Sydney's is famous for its seafood and live music, permanently closed after a New Year's Eve celebration. And Chap's Pit Beef, known for its pit beef sandwiches, says it will serve its last customers this Sunday. Both restaurants expressed gratitude to their customers in their farewell messages. No specific reasons were given for the closures.
Attention drivers in Laurel, Dogwood Lane is closing for pipe installation between Old Hickory Road and Airport Road. That starts Monday and is going to last until January 26th. Detours are in place on Old Hickory Road and Airport Road, so please plan accordingly for your travels.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening. In our game of the night, Delmar Wrestling is searching for their first win over Lake Forest since 2018. The Spartans are aiming to stay undefeated as they come in with a 5-0 record and after a victory over Indian River. Lake has a very experienced team with a number of returners, including 5 seniors. On the other side, Delmar has a young group with a bunch of freshmen starting, but they have a couple of athletes who competed at states a year ago, including Logan King, who qualified as an 8th grader. The Wildcats hope to improve to 2-2 on the season with a victory tonight. Action from Delmar begins at 5:30 p.m. Watch this matchup live on DSN. Staying on the wrestling mat, Stephen Decatur is looking to stay undefeated in the Bayside, but Queen Anne's County is standing in their way. The Seahawks are 3-0 on the season, entering with victories over Cambridge South, Dorchester, Snow Hill, and Huntingtown. On the flip side, the Lions are going for their second conference win after knocking off Y-High back in December. Don't miss highlights of this matchup at Decatur on the final score on DSN at 10:30 tonight. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Have you bought a house in the last decade, but it's just not quite big enough? At Paul Davis, we can design and build you a brand new addition or remodel your whole home from start to finish. With over 50 years experience of building and restoring homes, we've made the process quick and easy while making it affordable. Call Paul Davis today and one of our design consultants can be at your home as soon as tomorrow to give you a free estimate for your new addition or whole home remodel. Or visit our new showroom in Salisbury, Maryland, 100 Marvel Road.
Watch for the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
Shop Johnny Janosik's Winter Home Sale and get a fresh new look for your home. You'll save up to 50%, plus 0% APR till 2026, and instant discounts up to $500. But hurry, it all ends Monday at Johnny Janosik.
Embrace a new journey and kickstart your New Year's resolution in a brand new Subaru from Gateway Subaru. Discover the 2024 Subaru Outback, which represents Subaru's commitment to safety, innovation, and adventure. Right now, lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 4.9%. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, join us in creating magical frozen sun catchers to brighten chilly days. And we're spilling the tea with travel drama, plus tips for keeping pets warm in this freezing weather. Coast Life tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
If you're not sleeping well, Johnny Janosik is here to help. Purchase any mattress of $1699.95 or more and get a free pillow set, a free sheet set, and $400 off any Rise Home Power Base. Shop Johnny Janosik's Mattress World.
It's time to experience an extraordinary lineup of entertainment at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. Enjoy performances by the Four Phantoms in concert on February 4th, Wheel of Fortune Live on February 29th, The Simon and Garfunkel Story March 18th, and The Price is Right Live on April 1st. The excitement is building, and now it's your turn to be a part of it. Secure your seats at ococean.com/pack and join us for the most amazing season yet. Don't miss out. Come experience the magic of live performances all in one place at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center. See you there.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Taking a look outside, courtesy of our Orsted camera, we're holding at 29 degrees. We're going to stay at 27 to 28 throughout the rest of the evening. There's a winter weather advisory, but remember that's for Kent and Newcastle, not our immediate area. Here is a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. First alert day on Friday because of 2 inches of snow or more as you travel farther north.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
We're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.